good friend of mine, Atul Patel. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I can sense the confusion. That's really my name. So it's great to be in Mahtomedi. I think it's the only city in the world that could be a Native American name, a city in Iran, or a pharmaceutical drug to help you with social anxiety. I'm pretty sure. But you can tell I'm not from around here because you can sense that I'm not judging you. I was actually born in India, and I came to the US when I was 4 months old. That's when I lost my accent. I can still do one, but I do not use it unless it is absolutely necessary. Like when I want the tech support guys to understand me. Works out pretty well. But yeah, my name really is Atul Patel, so I've been hearing it since I was a kid. You know, they'd say, what kind of tool are you? A hammer, a screwdriver? And I was like, you're a real tool, aren't you? And then at work, people like combine my first and last name, so I'm like, Atul, Patul, Paul. It makes no sense. Just read the damn email. It's 4 letters, 2 syllables. So now you know what it's like. But it's not a very impressive sounding name because it's short, so I'm thinking of introducing myself like they do on Lord of the Rings. So I'd be Atul, son of Harilal, principal renter and defender of Willow Tree Apartments, Unit 248, City of Minneapolis, State of Minnesota, in the United States of America, planet Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy. Let's see. But I figured out that people in the area are about 10% non-whites, maybe like 1% here. 70% white and 20% whiter. Those are the people who go ice fishing. I think there's some of you here. But I'm 100% Indian, so it was always weird to me that my friends were always like 1/4 German, 1/4 Irish, 1/16 Native American. And I think that's how you all reproduced. Your grandfathers would seduce your grandmothers with fractions. They'd be like, hey, honey, let's make a 1/4 Swedish baby tonight. It's pretty hot. But I've traveled quite a bit, and I realized that the whiter a city is, the better a dancer people there think I am. So in New York City, I'm a beginner. In Minneapolis, I'm advanced. And in Chaska, I'm an instructor. But I was on Instagram the other day, and I commented on a post about how people here don't accelerate quickly enough to get on the highway to merge. Like, they expect people to move over for them or slow down. It's so annoying. And some guy from Minnesota wrote under my comment, he said, oh, and I said it's like much better in New York, Ohio, and Michigan, states I lived in. So he wrote, why don't you go back to Ohio, Michigan, or New York? And I was like, that's refreshing. He didn't want me to leave the country, go back to my country. He just wanted me to leave the state. So he's either just mildly racist or statist. I don't know. I invented that word, by the way. Let's see. But because I'm Indian, I get racially profiled all the time. At restaurants, people pull me aside and make me figure out their tip. Which is very nice. And when I fill out forms that ask for my race, I get tired of checking the box for Asian or Pacific Islander. I mean, Indians deserve our own checkbox because we're different than East Asians, like Chinese or Japanese people. We win spelling bees, and we suck at the Olympics. And we're CEOs too, so that's good. And I was the runner-up in the regional finals in whatever, Ohio. So I was one word away from going to Washington. True story. I have a trophy, I won a TV.
What was the word? What was the word?
Kerseymere. It's a fabric like cashmere.
Spell it.
Kerseymere. Yes. I have a whole collection of Kirsty Wear socks now. Let's see, where was I? So, because I'm technically Asian, people don't really think I'm Asian because they think of like East Asian people. But when there's a Middle Eastern terrorist event, then I'm like an Arab Middle Easterner or something to people, right? And my social media handle is haha masala. And Instagram and YouTube let me use it. Write that down, please. But Facebook won't because the letters in the middle spell Hamas. That's a true story. Like, they actually think I'm a terrorist, but I can't be a terrorist. I'm a vegetarian. I can't even kill a spider, And besides, I want to advance in my career, and successful suicide bombers never get promoted. So, that's also a true story. But I get tired of people who think I'm not American because I'm not white. Those are the people who say things like, "This is America, why don't you speak English?" Well, if you want to judge Americanness based on English skills, then if you look at my ACT verbal scores, I'm a hell of a lot more American than those guys. Oh, but does anybody here not drive a Subaru? What do you drive? Chevy, what kind of Chevy? Traverse, nice, okay. Well, I think I've been here long enough that I lived through the Prius plague, and now we have the Subaru Scourge. Like, every third vehicle's a Subaru. And I guess they're not just for lesbians anymore, which is good. But I think Subaru owners are like the most smug people that aren't rich, They think I bought the perfect vehicle and everybody else's vehicle is shit. They made the wrong choice, right? But is anybody else sick of all these full-size pickup trucks running around everywhere? Oh shit! Oh, you're gonna love this joke. They're usually just carrying around empty beds and people with big egos, And they're the first, and not using turn signals, of course, right? But they're the first people not to complain about high gas prices, right? And as well as spending $65,000 on a pickup truck. But it's okay because that's less money for the Trump campaign fund. I'm sorry, that's wrong. I mean the Trump Legal Defense Fund. Not happy you can hate me, that's fine. And then the worst one are the off-road pickups. Like, they're all jacked up, and I'm thinking that's like wearing hiking boots to a track meet while carrying an empty suitcase. That's what it's like driving on the highway. But they have fun. She liked that. That's good. I used to work for GM on full-size trucks, believe it or not. Let's see. But I'm getting older, and that's because I'm still alive. And I'm running out of time to get older, actually. But I realize I'm not cool anymore. Like, I come from a time when phones were phones, and cameras were cameras. We had audio cassettes. Like, I don't even try to explain it to younger people anymore. They just don't get it. But I started feeling really old when my oldest nephew picked me up from the airport when I visited family in Cleveland. And then I felt even older when my younger nephew dropped me off at the airport, like 6 years later. Different trip. And then my older nephew's kind of lapped me. I mean, he's married, he's in the race of life. He's got a dog, a house, and everything like that. But at least he's not an uncool uncle yet, so that part's good. And then I used to play video games with my younger nephew, and we would play, he was like 5 years old, we played Mario Kart, and he couldn't even talk or read, and he would just kick my ass in Mario Kart. And I'm thinking, wait a second, why is this harder than real driving? I wanted to get permission from his parents to put him in a car seat, with a stick for the gas pedal. And I could kick his ass on a real road, and you can't throw turtle shells at people, That's a new one, thank you. He's a good driver now. Let's see, but does anybody use ChatGPT or any of those AI chatbots? Yeah, what'd you use it for? What'd you say? Oh, so you don't take notes on meetings, okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of innocuous, but I think people are worried about AI taking over the world. But I'm not worried because AI is pretty young still, and pretty soon it'll become a teenager, and then it will just not listen and not want to do anything for us, and then just have its earbuds in and not like, and just be scrolling through TikToks all day, right? So we don't have to worry about that. But you know, when you come across somebody you haven't seen in a while, why do people always say, you look great? I mean, that's really superficial. Instead, people should say, you still seem to have a great personality and demeanor so far. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. Let's start a movement. But I also find it kind of sad that the only reason people talk to other strangers is when one of them has a dog, right? It's kind of sad, otherwise you just ignore them. And if they have a dog, they're somebody your best friend, right? And I think that's kind of demoralizing and dehumanizing because I don't have a dog. But I am going to start making t-shirts that say, ask me about my dog. So I'm going to start making my friends that way. But I snore, like a lot of other people. And I get sick of how people like shame us and make us feel guilty for snoring. Like we do it on purpose, you know? And then like, you know, your partner will like kick you or shake you to wake you up from snoring, so you stop making noise. But I'm like, what are you doing? Like, one of us has to get some sleep. And then, you know, there's certain things in etiquette that you never know what to do. So when you're a guy and you're at the urinal and you're standing next to another guy who's peeing, I realize there's nothing that's acceptable to say except nice shoes. Just don't ever say, what religion are you again? That is not acceptable. I found that out the hard way. Let's see. And I was on a flight from Japan the other day, a while ago, sitting next to a young guy, and it's a long flight, so he kept falling asleep and resting his head on my shoulder. And it happened for a few minutes at one point, and like I didn't know what to do. Like, should I wake him up? But that would be rude, because then I'd be waking him up, right? But then maybe he'd be mad that I didn't wake him up, right? And then I didn't want him to think I enjoyed it, but I did, because he was like the son I never had, you know? We had a very tender moments. Let's see, how much time I got? Shit, sorry, I feel like I'm going long, but that's okay. So I talked to my psychic the other day, and I found out that my aura is on the spectrum, because most women don't see me. Or sorry, it's ultraviolet, because most women don't see me. That's the nerdy part of the joke. Get it? Get it? Oh, sorry, I screwed that one up, shit. But I had a beer and a half, which is above my quota. But it's hard being a guy dating these days. Like, we don't have the benefit of acronyms like BBW, Big Beautiful Women. I think guys should get SHM, Scrawny Handsome Man. Right? And instead of that expression, Strong Independent Woman, we should get Weak Dependent Man. I think that's only fair. Right? Equality. But I've been on Bumble, and it's not very good for me. So I've created new dating app ideas that are inspired by Bumble. So the first one is Dumble. That one is for people who are too stupid to respond in full sentences. And then there's Rumble. That's for violent people. It's just good to know ahead of time so you can be prepared. And then there's Cumble, which doesn't need any explanation. But my favorite one is Humble. And that's the one for women who don't all think they're 10s. You're all 11s and 12s, but you should see some of the 4s and 5s on there. I'll end with this. So I've given up on casual sex and switched to formal sex instead. I send out invitations on nice paper and fancy envelopes. It's great when 3 women RSVP yes for the same nights. And at the end of the night, I always say, thank you, come again, and again. All right, thanks everybody. My name is Atul Patel.
Great job, Atul. I appreciate how he perpetuated the Indian stereotype of being really good at spelling. So that was awesome. He's our spelling bee champion for tonight. Okay, our last comedian